Welcome to Nico Knows Best, where we talk about what the want to talk about. I'm glad to have a special guest, Eddie Asante, also aka Yungfleur. I'm glad you got to come here. Please introduce yourself first before we get into the nitty gritty.
Oh, well, thank you for bringing me up, Nico. I appreciate it. My name is Eddie Asante, also known as Yungfleur. What am I known for? I mean, I work professionally as the communications and marketing director for a fashion brand known as Chris Habana here in New York City. And outside of that, in my own time, I am Yungfleur. I like to talk about all things fashion,
I know,
all
we
things,
did,
like I
All
really
things
like
fashion, the details.
Yes.
What's crazy is when I'm watching your videos, you have such a deep education of fashion. I don't have that. So when you're talking about, I'm like, wow, this person is really detailed. They know the facts. They know the history. And I'm like, I'm a whole agent, and I'm like, he knows more than I fucking do. So I was like, I would love to have him on this show to like discuss just like some of the upcoming like fashion trends and like the other things, how you feel about some of the shows that are out, and the creative directors, like they're swirling around, jumping from here to here to there.
Yeah.
Like, where would you want to start, honestly?
Ooh, I don't. It's a lot. It's a wide spectrum of things. I don't even know where to begin. I mean, we've been talking about the Fashion Week season, or the past Fashion Week season, and of course,
In New York or in Paris or Milan?
I mean in general,
Okay,
but
general.
it's kind of rocky all around, all across the board. I mean, people really got their life to Paris, I feel like, this season. I mean,
Yes.
Paris is always that city, but like
Yes.
especially this season, Paris like made their moment. And I think even Milan had some folks that
Yeah.
were popping out, but the other cities, I don't think they were as flashy.
Are you referring to London?
Yeah. Yeah, London wasn't what I
But
what
they've
I-
been giving up and coming back, giving up and coming back. Sometimes they don't even have fashion weeks like they used to, which, honestly, excuse me, a lot of them I feel like are new. It's a bunch of new designers, which is fair. It's fun for those people to get opportunities. But, when we go on for London's Fashion Week, we kind of want a balance of like
Right.
established brands and maybe just very few new ones, but just some,
Absolutely. I feel like we're in a place, I mean, we're in prime time for new voices, though, and new perspectives, and just a different way of doing things. I mean, I feel like a lot of folks in the fashion industry overall have been saying the same, like, there's a time, it's a space for something new, it's a space for an evolution of some sort, but people are trying to figure out exactly what that is.
I would just like to see these new designers have longevity, because sometimes they come 2 shows and they fade out.
It's hard.
I
It's
know.
hard. It's
Financially
hard.
and-
It in the whole cycle of the thing, because one thing that I always kind of gripe about is the fact that like fashion media really fuels their own storyline and creates things that aren't necessarily already happening. They kind of feed it. It becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy with a lot of things. And so I feel like with a lot of designers who are very talented, but also you can tell still have a ways to go in terms of perfecting their craft, perfecting the art of creating a pattern. Those folks, they're onto something, and they just need some time, encouragement, and resources. But what I've seen is that with the media, they'll be like, the next best thing, the new hot whatever, and whether they have a team or not, whether they just finished sewing that shirt, it's like suddenly they're a star. Drake wants to wear them, B wants to wear them, whoever wants to wear them, and they're not necessarily built infrastructure-wise to compete, to accommodate that. So they end up kind of shooting their star before they've even been properly able to take off. You know what I mean? And I think like the press, the fact that they're constantly trying to mine for something new kind of forces that as well. So by the time these people are getting all of this demand and this praise and these requests for product, you can ask somebody for 1,000 pieces of whatever and say you're going to pay them whatever amount, but there's only so much that is humanly possible. So I feel like sometimes that accolade part comes before they're even able to really establish themselves, and I think that's one key issue.
So speaking on that, who is one of your favorite, maybe name 3 of your favorite upcoming designers that you have an eye on right now?
Upcoming designers that I
Or
have an eye
upcoming,
on?
they may be, they're already here. They may already be here, but like they're new, they're fresh, and that you are really looking forward to what they do next.
The first name on my mind is just because I saw like a post from his earlier, Connor Ives. I love his stuff. Connor Ives really does. Oh, he just like won an award even. Like he's definitely a new kid on the block
Is
in
that,
every
the brand
sense.
is called Connor Ives.
Connor Ives, yeah. Yeah, yeah, and really cool. Like it's not too overloaded. It's not like a whole look that kind of wears you. It's kind of softer styling, I want to say, but still definitely feels like sleek, sexy, catches attention for sure. And they definitely get the gender blendy kind of like culture now in a way that also is like, I genuinely want to wear this. This isn't just like a really cool idea. So Connor for sure is one.
Okay, I'm about to Google that one.
Other brands, I mean, I praise them all the time for these boots, but GmbH, they're not the newest. They're not, but they've been
like them.
Yeah, I love them and I love their message. And also another brand that really gets it when it comes to blending gender characteristics or what different folks look for.
Like very unisex type of situation.
Yeah, but also like realistic. The one thing about I do think that we have the potential to get to a place in terms of like the shopping experience where something that is unisex will be like practical and like whatever. But if I got a party to go to tomorrow night, the store closes in 30 minutes because that's how I give it up. I'm not trying to like just pick at whatever because y'all mixed everything together and like, sure, I don't have an issue wearing, you know, what is labeled as women's wear and men's wear, but my shoulders are a different story.
Yo, I have a big back.
And my hip, like it's...
I got a big back, so...
Right, so I can't just look at that number and be like, oh yeah, it's like, it kind of fits like a men's...
I have to try it on.
Yeah.
I have to go for the biggest size in the women's if I'm going for it. And it's still like, yeah, but I can make it work.
Yeah, for sure. Once you get it though, but there's still that groundwork. And of course, you know, on the opposite end of someone being who's like, always been able to find their size. Now it's my turn to do the like guesswork and figuring it out. But we need to make it easy for everybody because you got to be realistic about how people shop. We're not all just here just like, I love their message. It's like, girl, I need an outfit like right now, like right now, like, you know. So
what about your third then?
You didn't forget.
Didn't forget. He thought you got away with it.
I was like, I'm gonna let that go.
No.
But third. As far as newer designers, once again, not like the newest, but I love Dilara Findikoglu. I believe her name. That's the first time I've ever said that last name in person. So please don't rag me if I mess that up.
I just feel so stupid over
Dilara, maybe you saw because it was like a moment when she did a couple seasons ago. There was a dress with like the vintage cutlery. It was like knives.
I'm not really into women's wear that much. They do primarily women's wear.
Yeah, she's a women's.
I don't
know.
You know what I mean? Like I wear mostly male clothes unless it is a woman's garment that I really love and that my big body can fit in.
Right.
Now, I don't really watch women's shows unless I have a model in the show.
Yeah, I feel you.
Or it had males in the show. If it has males in the show, I do watch it, but I'm like,
makes sense. But you know, the women's wear is always so much more poppin'. It's always so much fun. Although I think the men's wear is starting to have a little bit more fun, especially last season. But women's is always like you can.
I like to shop. I want to see stuff I can wear though. I can't wear no dress.
Real.
That's beautiful, but I can't buy that.
Yeah.
So I want to look at things I could possibly buy if I have the budget for it.
That's
you know what I mean? Like,
I don't like to tease myself.
I don't want to tease myself.
That's right.
Like, that's a beautiful dress.
I
can never fit my big hips and shoulders in it. So it's like...
That's why, like, also, like, one of my number one rules is, like, I hate when people show things that are just for runway. Like, don't show me a top. Don't show me a bag. Don't show me accessory that I can't have. Y'all don't have no details.
Going to the website. I'm like, this is not even... And I go even the season that's supposed to be there. I'm like, this is not even on the website. Where can I buy this? I want this so bad. And you can't find it. Maybe in a showroom.
Right.
But it's like, but you can't even buy it. That's rented.
Yeah. Or you got to do one of those intense, like calling somebody up, seeing where do they make it? Where is it located? Not everything has to be.
I almost said a name by accident, but I just decided not to do that.
We don't want to name names because they might gift us.
I almost said that.
Right.
Okay.
I feel you.
Let me just move on from that. So I'm gonna throw some names at like fashion houses at you. I want you to know like what do you think about which one do you prefer and why? Okay. So Dior and Fendi.
Dior and Fendi. Which
one do you prefer? Which one, like,
men's or women's?
Oh, wow.
Men's or women's? Dior, Fendi doesn't really do men's. So.
They don't really do. They do men.
Oh well,
they do men.
But I guess that's my answer.
We're gonna go with women there for you. For you, since you've seen in women.
Ooh. Why would you choose those two?
I mean, it's a hard question, babes.
I mean,
which one?
Yeah, Dior is her, and then Fendi was him until recently. I would say Fendi. I would say Fendi.
Why?
Because Dior is just so boring. It's just so, at least like I'm not necessarily gonna be bored. I may see Fendi and be like, what's going on here? But at least I'm curious and asking questions.
Okay.
Dior, I'm very much like, can we skip to the end? Like, when is this over? Every single time.
The women,
Every single time.
right.
Oh, girl,
I was thinking about the men's, but then I thought the women's show. I agree.
Mm-hmm,
and they do have a lot of shows. They have so many shows. They have like 4 shows a year or something in the most randomest places.
Yeah, for sure.
But kudos to the girls making their money that's on the runway.
I'm not mad.
So Celine or Saint Laurent?
Celine or Saint Laurent? Saint Laurent.
Saint Laurent.
Okay. I mean, Anthony Vaccarelli, he got it. He's got like this shtick going, and it's, he's like, the way he goes about it, where it's like stuff we've kind of seen before, or like the old school Saint Laurent literally rehashed. Like, normally I don't go up for that kind of stuff, but like, he's doing it in a way that really is getting the contemporary crowd. Like, he's got them dressing like grannies in a way. Like, it's kind of dope. Like, throwback divas type.
So you love that one. So what about Diesel or Balenciaga?
Diesel.
Why?
I love Glenn Martins and the work that he did ever since, like, from Y Project and beyond.
I love Y Project.
Yeah. Y Project, like, they're so good the way that they work with denim.
And the details, like, it's just, like, cool and they're new and they're fresh.
And I love, like, for me, everything I love is something that, like, you have to double take to catch what the detail was, or, like, how it buckles or how it folds or how the material is actually your skin, but you can't tell the print from your skin. Like, I love that stuff.
Where's this tank from?
Oh, this is my project. I'm glad you asked.
So I'm glad you asked, darling.
Hey, Glenn.
I think I noticed when you was
got a little
the jacket.
right. I was like, let me
Yes.
keep it cute. But yes, this a banger and like such a simple idea.
Are you scared of the string? Scares me though.
Let me tell you, this string.
It's strong.
Okay.
It's fishing.
Look, Jesus made. Like it's it's actually very durable. Like the first time, I like stretched that out of it with my elbow and it snapped right back in place. It hasn't faltered, failed me yet.
I would hug the wrong with like earrings or something.
Listen, I got close, but you seen Bianca, Kanye's girl or Ye's girl. She wore a dress version of this that was like super extended, and the string. I was just like, oh yeah,
I saw that. The others were like,
they were down. They were
down for the count.
Was swinging, but that string. That string held through, but definitely love them more than Balenciaga. I'm kind of over all of what's happening around that, and even like the fans of Demna and like them. Like, I saw comments the other day where people were like, "We're just here for Demna, like we don't care about Balenciaga," and I'm like, that's a very small we. Like that is who is we? Like all the kids who just came out of school at 3 p.m. Like I'm all good. So Diesel is where it's at. They're fun. They're young. They're hip.
Let me think. I had one in my mind. And my mind went blank because I'm a little. I can't use that word. Let's exit that out. I can't use that word. So Givenchy or Louis Vuitton.
You're not choosing no fun ones. What's this?
I don't know.
No, Givenchy versus Louis Vuitton. I mean, I definitely would choose Louis at this point because I agree. Yeah, and that's all. I feel like that's also like an easy pick too because Givenchy ain't really. Matthew over there was. And then, like it was just a flop from the beginning. And Louis Vuitton, I mean, now that they've got Pharrell over there,
do you like it with Pharrell over there?
I don't know if I like it or I wouldn't say I like it or don't like it. It depends who you ask, right? But what I will say is like he is defining. He and a couple of these creative director appointments recently, and some of these newer designers are defining what a creative director means in the present day and what brands are looking for from that, and it's definitely different from old school fashion. Like it's,
I can unbiased opinion. I like it better than when Virgil was there personally. Just me. I would actually more buy something from Louis Vuitton versus I don't. Yeah. I just feel like Louis Vuitton and Virgil there was more like for rappers, and I'm not a rapper. So. Yeah.
He definitely
love you, Virgil.
Yes, of course.
Rest in peace.
Yeah, but Pharrell's a great salesman, and he's gonna do his thing.
So Valentino or Gucci?
Valentino.
Old Valentino before Alejandro.
Alessandro
was there.
Valentino before Alessandro, which means that's when Pierpaolo was there.
Yes.
Pierpaolo was doing his thing versus who? Gucci. now that who's there? Sabato just
The
Sabato
current. Yes.
like, I mean, have you seen the news? No, I would say Valentino for sure. I mean, Pier Paolo, he got it. Like, he really, no, I mean, even towards the end, like,
Right.
when the PP Pink, like, those all pink collections, and, like, he was, like, really hitting, like, the mass culture towards the end of his era, he was like, I can do that too. Like, I can do mass market. I can do very niche, high fashion. Like, I can appeal to every side. Like, Pier Paolo's just that guy.
I've never been into a Valentino before.
Yeah?
I mean, that for the men's clothes, it's very suitish.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I don't need suits from Valentino because we need to put a dent in my budget for that. But I've never been in there. I don't really shop Gucci either. I mean, these are Gucci glasses, but these glasses spoke to me, but I don't have anything else Gucci.
I mean, accessories from Gucci are always gonna hit.
I like that.
They always gonna hit.
I think these are women glasses, but I really took to them on Halloween. Oh, not Halloween, Christmas last year. But yeah, I've never been into any other stores that actually buy clothing.
Yeah, no. Yeah, I mean, Gucci really, they really shot themselves in the foot when they dropped Alessandro like that, like a hot egg. Like, that was crazy.
Like prints. I mean, for me personally, I'm not a print guy.
Yeah.
Like anything with heavy print on it, I just don't see me spending my dollars on personally.
Yeah, I agree. I'm not really heavy on the print thing, but and also, like, I mean, Alessandro's Gucci is not something that I would shop. Like, I wouldn't necessarily
shop, but just like it's nice
that
visually.
look.
You see the creativity, you see the inspiration.
Oh yeah,
and it's just a lot more fun to look at.
He made a universe that was like really artistic, really inspiring, and also very commercially viable. Because one thing, even if you don't want the outfits, once again, the accessories always gonna hit. The bags go crazy.
So how do you feel about the Valentino show that recently happened with him? Now that he's at Valentino.
It's not for me. It's so granny and
but
so like
Gucci very similar.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. But like,
it just felt different.
It was just like, it didn't feel completely different, but it was such a very special, like a very fixated leaning in on the throwback stuff.
And it was a lot of looks, and
a lot of looks. Yeah,
I would say one noted. It was very one note.
Yeah. We didn't go. And the thing, that's Alessandro though. Like, and when he left Gucci and he went over there and did the same thing, that was the point. Like, this isn't me rehashing Gucci. This is what I do. This is how Big Daddy takes it. You know what I mean? And he brought it to Valentino. Tons of bags once again. So I'm sure those will sell.
What brands? What luxury brands do you see yourself spending most money in? Like, what stores? What online? I love a good Essence, so most of the time I don't even buy my stuff from the website. I buy it from Essence.
Yeah, that's real. Essence has really become the mecca for everybody.
I don't have time for this.
Yes, and their sale is elite.
But what's your closet look like?
Well, honestly, it's a mix of stuff, and honestly, it's mostly like throwback stuff. Like, I don't really go up as much for like contemporary stuff as I do for like vintage pieces. I'm really obsessed with that, to be honest.
Okay.
Because one, like, the value, a different time period where things kind of were handled differently. The quality is really good, and the resale value is there too. You never know. If I'm gonna spend the money on something, why not spend it on something that I could possibly flip if I ever needed to? I've been down on my luck and pulled that Margiela and McQueen out the closet and made that. But like, I'm always going for some Tom Ford Gucci. That's literally like the last thing you'll see on my Google search is Tom Ford Gucci, because I know the minute one thing is. So I collect that. I love to get some vintage Versace as well.
I'm so basic. I'm such a basic. I do not shop. Most of my closet's full of Diesel, a little bit of Balenciaga. Oh, who else? I can't think. I don't know.
But it's like classic suiting, men's tailoring type vibes. Well, but then mixed in, but then it's Diesel, and that's like not at all that.
I like my vibe has to be like sexy, not too over the top, but dark tone.
Yeah, I feel that.
But the sexy part has to be in there normally, somewhere, like, because that's just my whole being. Like, I sell sex, like, that's what I do.
Same.
So how you feel about the trend? So the trend to me is what we're talking about. So, are you into this current trend that you saw on the runway, like very suiting, very tie? It was very oversized suit, very ties. I saw that on like Bottega, and a few other ones.
I think
Wall Street,
Yeah, for sure. And of course, like, we've been seeing these references back to like kind of the corporate culture and that power
Right.
broker, American Psycho. That thing has been like constantly revolving around. Every other person is posting it more and more these days. But I do think that the ubiquity of the suit and its power, even when it's kind of become more outdated in the contemporary workspace, is really interesting. Like, Anthony Vaccarello in his his notes for the past show, he was like, with this we covered because normally he was very bare, but he's like everyone had a full look, and it was about power and temptation. And I was like, I thought all your other stuff was about that. I thought we was already doing the power thing, but it's like the strength of the suit and what it means to people on a global scale. Like, it's the mainstay of that is very interesting to me. Like, even as we don't wear it, when we think about this idea of being powerful, at the top of your game, in charge of everyone, the leader, restraining yourself, the opposite of primality, civility, like giving into a more tailored kind of like superhuman kind of thing. It's like always the suit. It always goes back to the suit. And I think also when you think about the tailoring, like you said, wider, boxier, it's about taking up space. I think we're in such uncertain times. Everybody clings to some form of comfort, which is when we see everyone going back to nostalgic collections, things that, always sell, and running those into the ground. And then we also see them going to things that make people feel armored. And so that's where we see like a lot of these strong shoulders. People want to feel like when they're coming into the world, they're taking space, they're noticed. Like, I feel like there's a lot of, feeling overlooked and kind of like marginalized. So I feel like dressing the part allows people to really feel in command of their lives and the people and the circles around them.
Because I'm really into it, honestly. I went and re-upped me some blazers and suits and ties. This is like the first time I really wore a tie on purpose. Like, most time I wore a tie because I was like, I gotta go to a wedding. They made me do it, or some type of interview.
Yeah.
But like, I'm really kind of into it for some reason. Like, normally I'm into showing a little bit more skin, like knowing this button down, probably be buttoned down or down the head. My tits will be out. But I'm like, okay, I'm into it a little.
I love
bit.
it for you.
It, but I have to make it edgy. I can't do it like super clean and like conservative, because that's just not who I am as a person.
Yeah, for sure.
So we didn't get to talk about like where are you actually from. So I want to leave that here. Or where were you raised? Like how are you from New York? How did you get here, and what drove your passion?
Okay. Well, I'm from the Bronx. I'm from New York, uptown, High Bridge, in the. You already know. But yeah, I'm from uptown, born and raised. The Bronx is all I know. New York is all I know. I've never lived anywhere else. Honestly, like up until a recent point, thinking about moving would make me shed a tear. Like really, New York for real, for real. And my family, my parents are from Ghana. I'm from Ghana. So yeah, they moved here, and so I'm first generation. But I love Ghana as well. It's so lit. Definitely heading there.
I've never been there. I've never been to Africa.
You gotta pop out. I'm surprised.
So I look like that to you. It's so far.
What does that mean? We got planes. It's 2024.
Planes, like I feel like a trip from New York to. How long did it take you to get there?
To get there, it's about 9-10 hours.
My maximum is 8 hours, unless I'm going there for work.
Right.
Now, if you pay me, I'm gonna go.
I mean,
but being on a plane for 9 to 10 hours plus.
Yeah, especially if you were long-legged, whatever.
I'm
like
6'1",
I can't deal.
We're not gonna be flying first class.
But it's worth the trip. You're not going there for nothing.
I would have to be there for a very long time.
And you would definitely get your castings in. There are beautiful people. Ghanaian people are beautiful.
Let me tell you this: I don't stay nowhere longer than 4 days.
Oh really?
No, I'll be ready to get back to my house.
I'm screaming. I feel that though.
But if I went on a plane for 10 hours, I'm gonna have to stay there for like 9 days.
Yeah. I don't do any less than 2 weeks if I'm flying out there. Not for that.
That's a lot. So I'm not built like that, but I'm trying to get built like that. Maybe one day.
Man, there's a lot going on that side.
I have a friend that goes to Africa all the time, but I'm like, I can't, babes. I can't. These legs not built. I need to be sedated.
I know someone who definitely needs to be like on a something or out, completely knocked out before.
I need to be knocked out for at least 6 of those hours.
Oh no, I can't deal. I'm too anxious.
I gotta get up. I'm like, I would just honestly just move there at that point. I'm not getting back on this plane.
Okay, well, I don't know if you want to do all that, but definitely get your visit in as soon as
If
you
the
can.
check is right, if somebody said I'm flying you, I'm like, or it's free.
Yeah.
If the check is right,
Yeah,
if it's free,
yeah.
I could do it.
We love an all expenses paid, flued out moment.
I just can't pay for myself to be tortured. You know, that just
That's
sounds
real.
crazy for me. It's like $1,000 to be uncomfortable for 10 hours on a plane.
And
Actually 20 because I got to come back.
you won't even remember that. You don't remember the last 10 hours that pissed you off. You'll be okay. But what else were you asking? How what drove my passion?
Yes.
I kind of got into or interested in style mostly,
Mm-hmm.
just like watching people. Like I've always been like a nerd about stuff. Like when I kind of like I'm into it, I'm really obsessive about it. So for me, I was just obsessing because I would go to private school and everybody would always, we'd have our dress down days, and that's when in the Bronx, dress down day. Oh, they're pulling up with that. Okay, like labels down, and we were in fifth grade.
I've only been to the Bronx a few times, but yeah.
What?
I've only been to Bronx maybe a few times. I went to the Bronx
And
for the
how'd you
first
like
time this
it?
year.
Stop.
In June was the first time I ever went to the Bronx ever in my life, and I've been living in New York for almost 7 years, and I've been coming to New York since I was like 18, 19 years old.
You're in
I'm in
BK?
Brooklyn.
Yeah. I mean, that's two worlds apart. I always say you don't go there. You don't go from the Bronx to Brooklyn or Brooklyn to the Bronx unless you really love or
Right.
hate that person. Like you about to be,
Right. See,
or
I
you about
got a
to.
close friend
That's
now
your
that
people.
I adore, so I'm just like,
Yeah.
they got me to the Bronx.
The only way. It's the only way. Because we,
Oh, yeah.
just the idea, saying me to Brooklyn, I'm like, oh, no.
It's not that long on the train though, but it just the thought of it.
I
It
don't
just
know.
looking
I just
at
picture
it.
a boat. I don't know, like I just picture water, seas, crossing
I know,
that,
it's
writing a
like-
letter to my mother, like,
Yeah.
nah, I can't do it.
But it takes us just as long to get to Jersey, so it's like, but
That kind of math,
I'm not going
that
to
New
do
York
that.
math, I can't even see that. Because New York to Jersey feels like in my head, I'm thinking that's like,
Close to
light
it.
years.
But the Bronx all day, baby.
Yeah.
Brooklyn over here, you
Yeah,
know, it's no
yeah,
difference.
yeah.
But I really appreciate you coming. Any words you want to leave out with to let the people know?
Any words that I want to leave people with? Follow me on my social media platforms. Don't undercover love me. I am Yungfleur, YUNGFLEUR on Instagram. I'm on TikTok as well. And I'm on Threads. Threads is actually really cute. And other things that I want to say. I don't know. Pursue your passion. Everybody's making things up. Some people just look really good at making it up. And so can you. So go for it.
Well, thank you so much for coming. I really appreciate it.
Thank
Bye.
you. Thanks.